Hi, I'm Risha Walden. I want to talk about kitchen layout. I love designing kitchens. They're like puzzles, but it's getting all those puzzle pieces in the right place so they fit seamlessly and efficiently. And that's what our kitchens are for efficient, functional space that will help you, live in your home easily. We should not be working hard to live in our home. It should be supporting us. And the kitchen is one of the first places and one of the most used spaces in our homes where we are being active and working in it. So I want to talk about kitchen layout. There's some details that are really important when you're designing a kitchen. These are things that I think about, so I think you should think about them too. The first thing is the triangle of the kitchen. What is that, the triangle? Well, these are the major appliances and where they go in the kitchen. Major appliances in the kitchen, and I say major because these are the ones that we use the most, be the stove, the cooktop, the fridge, and the sink. So we want to have a really nice, clean triangle that allows us to go from each of these three pieces easily without traffic flow impeding our area. When you start with the kitchen, start thinking about where do we put these large appliances so that we get a great workflow. That is key to having a fabulous layout for your kitchen. Start with your layout of your large appliances. Another tip for you for laying out a kitchen is the cabinets. Now, cabinets come in usually 3-inch increments. So unless you're doing total custom, in which case it doesn't really matter. But the kitchen measurements are standard widths for sinks, standard width for stoves, fridges, etc. And in this case, we're talking about cabinets. Cabinets, you want to lay them out so you get the maximum cabinet width as possible. And that you get them useful. Now, how do you make them useful? Well, you want to know what you're going to be using that cabinet for. Or is it going to be a drawer? Is it going to be a door? Does it need a drawer? Does it need to be rolled out? There's lots of options, and you really want to make your kitchen efficient is knowing beforehand, before you order everything, you want to know what are you going to be putting in there and what size does it need to be, and what is going to be the best use of that, the best thing to use for that space, such as maybe you have a mixer that you want to be able to pull in and out. It's not the kind of thing you want to have to step down and bend under and then lift it up. Maybe it's a cabinet that has a drawer on it. So these are things to think about prior to ordering everything that you need for your kitchen. When you're designing your layout, think of these tips. The third tip that I have is the width of a walkway off a counter. So you need at least 36 inches. Like 42 is great, but you may not have the space. So you need to have at least 36 inches from the front of the cabinet to whatever comes, whether it's an island, whether it's a wall. 36 inches is optimal, and that gives you enough room to stand there, do your work, and have someone pass without interrupting you. And it also allows you to open cabinets, pull out drawers without having to stand to the side, but to stand in front of it and pull out a drawer. You want to have that space. So think about 36-inch width, at least aisle off your cabinets. This is one tip that people don't think about often, and it's the swing of the door, the fridge door. You might have a fridge that swings from the right, or a fridge that swings from the left, or it could be a French door. Does it work in your kitchen? Does it allow the workflow in your kitchen to be efficient and to make it easily accessible to get into your fridge, to use your fridge, and not impede your work, your functionality of the kitchen? Now, this is easy to do because fridges can be specified with which swing of the door you want. In fact, some fridges you can even switch the swing of the door, but think about this. What is going to be the easiest one for you when you're working in your kitchen when you order your fridge? And finally, a pantry. Well, that seems like a really luxurious item to have in your kitchen, but you do need storage. You need storage for all those dry goods and food items, minimum, for you to use in your kitchen. Now, a pantry could be its own self-contained area, which is like a closet area, a large walk-in pantry. I mean, there's lots of options, but you may not have that space. So what can you do? You could have cabinets that go from the floor to the ceiling, and they're not as deep as a standard cabinet. Most lower cabinets are 24 inches deep, upper cabinets are 15 to 18 inches deep, but you may only have enough space for a 12-inch depth cabinet. Now, that's what I did in my kitchen. I put a 12-inch depth cabinet along the wall, and I knew that this is where I'm keeping my pantry items. A lot of storage is in there, and even though it's not as deep, I'm not going to be able to put plates in there, large bowls or platters. At least this is where I keep all my goods for the kitchen. There are some tips for you when you're designing a kitchen. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. If you have any questions, put them below. But if you enjoy this video, please share it, like it, add comments. It really helps me, and it helps me know that you enjoy what I do. So thank you so much, and look out for my next video.